Center for a leadoff single. Big turnaround first.
Oh, good chance here for Rondon to pitch in a tight game like this. Bottom of the 8th, 1-run game. Dale continues to search for answers in his bullpen. Phillips is the cleanup hitter, but I don't think you can rule out a bunt. Wouldn't bet on it. I wouldn't be stunned by it either.
I wouldn't feel too comfortable if I'm the camera operator right there with Chapman firing bullets at about 99 miles an hour. Well, that's just me.
Looking to tee off here.
The 2-0, now 3-0. Remember the other day we were talking about the shift, and I referenced the guy who stole second and third because the shortstop or third baseman, it was Brandon Phillips. 2007. It was a shift against Adam Dunn. Very heads-up play by Phillips.
Got away with one there. 3-1 fastball after the 3-0, and Phillips pulled off a little bit.
Takes off. Phillips fouls off. Not easier to push buttons when you're Dusty Baker and you're leading here in the 8th inning. Votto goes again. Phillips with another foul ball.
A situation there where you're counting on the hitter to either draw ball forward or make contact. Votto can run a little bit. He's got one steal. He's been caught one time. You have to know your hitter. Some hitters get a little jumpy with that man in motion, and they'll chase the ball out of the zone. Keeps pumping fastballs in there, and Phillips Keeps fouling him off. Can't get the barrel out in front. Votto's getting his running in.
Well hit. Left center. Phillips thinks he got it, and he is correct. A two-run homer. 7-4. And the league's RBI leader adds 2 to his total.
After falling behind, Rondon battled back in the count and had Phillips foul off for 3 consecutive fastballs and threw him one more, and this time Phillips jumped all over it.
Third homer of the evening for the Reds. Votto, Hannigan, and now Phillips.
Showed you that graphic earlier. The Reds at a little under 5.5 runs per game here at home. Second best average in the Major League Baseball, just behind Detroit in terms of runs at home.
Gobbled up by Rizzo. Rondon at the bag. Bruce retired, 1 away. Got an 8-game winner in the National League. His name, Jordan Zimmerman. Now 8-2 after beating the Phillies tonight, 5-2. His ERA went up to 1.71. So 5 runs for the Nationals. We'll see if Davey Johnson shaves tomorrow morning. Braves and Mets 3-3 in New York. Freeman and Uggla have homered for the Braves. John Buck with his 11th for the Mets.
Wow.
Milwaukee leading Pittsburgh 2-1 in the bottom of the 7th at Miller Park. Base hit center field. Jack Hanahan is going to hit in the pitcher spot. Rondon's 1-0. Almost hit Hanahan in the hand.
Right through the 5-hole. In the first 5 innings of their games this year, the Cubs have outscored the opposition by 16 runs. That's where the trouble starts. From the 6th inning on, they've been outscored by 23 runs. Talked a lot this year about run differential. How it doesn't make sense, doesn't add up. The Cubs have not been outscored by that much. It's not reflected in the one-loss record, but when you look at those numbers, clearly you can identify the bullpen as the culprit.
Checkman and directly number 60, J.J. Hoover. 60, J.J. Hoover, Jimmy Chapman in the red.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Hanahan, the pitch. He struck him out swinging. It's the 3rd for Rondon here in his 2nd inning of work. So from Hanahan to Hannigan. Some words of support for Don Mattingly from Dodger president Stan Kasten. Said he expects Mattingly to be in charge of the Dodgers for a long time, and also expects the team to turn things around on the field. Final year of Donnie Baseball's contract.
So that begs the question, is there an extension coming then if he expects him to be there for a long time?
You can read into every word of that statement if you'd like.
Aggressive swing there by Hannigan, but he's a little late to the party. He was thinking about a 2-home run night.
It's been a frustrating week going back to Sunday when the Cubs couldn't hold a lead against the Mets. Got swept in Pittsburgh and trailing 7-4 here tonight. Hairston getting ready for Chapman, but we saw right-hander J.J. Hoover up as well for the Reds.
Very frustrating in that the Sunday loss was a 1-run game. 2 of the losses in Pittsburgh were 1-run games.
Line to right, and Scherholtz will make the grab. 2-run homer by Phillips, and it's a 3-run Reds lead as we head to the 9th.
And do you know your blood type?
A or B positive.
Have you eaten today?
I had some Lebanese food for lunch.
I love the Lebanese.
I'm not
Enough
sure.
with the formalities. Let's get started, shall we?
Jimmy, how happy are folks who save hundreds of dollars switching to Geico? Happier than Dracula volunteering at a blood drive.
We have cookies.
Get happy. Get Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Snap out of your snack routine with delicious Pringles sticks. Everything pops with Pringles sticks.
Disaronno cocktail number 1. Ice. Disaronno. Disaronno on the rocks. Disaronno, be original.
The hotter the hot. The colder the cold, the greater the demand. The more you need Duralast. Batteries built to exceed the need. Batteries built to meet or exceed original equipment standards for cold cranking amps. Batteries built with the power to hold up to heavy electrical demands. Batteries so good they come with a coast-to-coast warranty. Only at AutoZone.
No boots, no jeans, no beards, nothing but old-fashioned justice. Criminal Intent, weekdays at 5.
Saturday, Travis Wood faces off against his old team as the Cubs battle the Reds in Cincy in a matinee special. Saturday at 3:30 East on WGN America.
Here's Aroldis Chapman. For the most part, has been really good, but he's had some struggles. He blew back-to-back save chances on May 16th, and then again on the 19th, gave up home runs in the 9th to lose at Philadelphia, but he's come back strong his last 2 times out, both in New York.
So overall, 3-2, 10 saves and 12 tries with an ERA right at 3.
May has not gone nearly as well as April did. He had a 0.68 earned run average in April. Remember, he had that rough outing at Wrigley Field. Cubs cuffed him around. It was at the beginning of this month.
They gave up 3 runs on 4 hits.
And so in April, again, fairly small sample size, but opponents were 5 for 44 against him, a 114 average, up to 313 in May. Strikeout rate down, walk rate up. Cubs hoping that trend continues.
Well, the mission twofold here. You know, you're always hoping for that miracle comeback down 3 in the 9th. And then if that fails, you at least want to make them work, throw a lot of pitches. Perhaps put his availability for tomorrow into question. Yeah, that game in Philadelphia, he blew the second one. It was back-to-back home runs. And the story we heard the other day was that a friend had given him a bunch of these Cuban pastries, 200 of them, and he devoured like 18 of them before the game on Sunday.
Well, to get through the hole is Hanahan, who just came in to play third. Couldn't get it on the dive.
Hairston hit a couple balls pretty well the other day in Pittsburgh. One just like that Pedro Alvarez, the third baseman, gobbled up on him. So if Hanahan had made the play on that one, Harrison might have just kept on running down the right field line and into the seats. We might not have seen him again. He needs some good things to happen.
So DeJesus gets the at bat. Then you've got the righty Castro, and then this parade of lefties, and we'll probably start seeing pinch hitters after Rizzo. Soriano, Ransom, and Castillo all available here in the 9th. '97. Curious what the average fastball velocity is for Chapman. The first fastball after he gives up a hit.
I think a little something on it, a little anger.
Just guessing. Hairston will take second without a throw. Stay out of that double play. If nothing else, 98 on that last pitch.
No stolen base credited to Hairston. Fielder's indifference. Left-handed batters 3 out of 20 against Chapman this year. It's a 150 batting average. No walks, 12 strikeouts, no extra base hits.
grossed out.
Comes with a slider at 87 to finish off David.
For music fans, he started off with Oasis and Radiohead in the late 90s. Finished off with U2, 87. Not that U2 was bad in the late 90s, but their peak was more around Joshua Tree. Artistically, at least. Although I'm kind of getting off topic. One strike on Starlin Castro. Here's a pitch.
What do you got when he throws 100?
That gets a little tricky. Here did O Susanna come out.
2 for 9 against Chapman. I would think Castro right about now doesn't mind facing Chapman. He's been befuddled by a lot of breaking balls and off stride. Now he at least knows he can see some fastballs.
Should see one here on a 3-1 and still not representing the tying run. That guy right now is on deck. Again, the WGN News coming up right after the game. The Cubs are trying to extend here in the ninth. And he walked him.
Well, last time we were here, I think it was the final day of the series, and Rizzo had been scuffling for a while, and he got a base hit off Chapman. Real short swing, real good swing on a Chapman fastball. Whacked it into right field for a base hit, and he kind of went on a little run after that. Went down to Miami, had a big day there, that 2-home run game.
Not much foul territory in this park. It's about 8 or 9 rows back. The aforementioned Alfonso Soriano on deck to hit for Sweeney. 0-2. Called strike 3.
Hannigan setting up off that outside corner, and that's in the right-handed hitter's batter's box. It's a bad call. That's the case where the umpire got influenced by the positioning of the catcher. It's Hannigan right in the mask and well framed, but he was sitting well off the plate.
Soriano pinch hitting. Low for ball 1.
That guy's tough enough to hit. Gets 3 inches off the plate. Hang with him. Ooh.
1-1. That looked pretty tasty to you? It was hard, but
it was over, over the heart of the plate. It's 98 miles an hour. That's the fear, that was the one good fastball he's going to get a chance to whack at.
Well, yeah, look at number 2, right in the middle of that box. And a nasty slide piece at 87. 1-2. And on the hands. Cubs in danger of losing 5 straight for the first time this year. Soriano strikes out. 3 punch-outs in the inning for Chapman, and the Reds beat the Cubs. The final tonight, Cincinnati 7, and the Cubs 4. We'll be back in a moment.
Next on the WGN News, a scavenger surprise. Kids on a hunt find the best prize ever. Perfect way to start Memorial Day weekend. Speaking of it, a look at how much we'll spend, how long we'll wait, how far we'll drive for the holiday weekend. Tom Skilling sorts through the rain. Hit or miss for the backyard barbecue. We'll find out.
On Rules of Engagement, there are soulmates.
You keep a file of every mistake I have made?
I'm sure I've missed a few. I'm not perfect.
And lots of mates.
You just make jokes about relationships because you wish you had one.
Right. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go do whatever I feel like doing all the time.
Rules of Engagement.
Weeknights at midnight on WGN America.
Anything's possible if you have the right tools. Ryobi has over 50 products that work off of one 18-volt battery. And with new improved lithium and lithium plus batteries, you'll get a whole lot more done in less time. Plus, they'll improve the performance of every 18-volt tool we've ever made. Now that's getting more power for your money. Ryobi One Plus, the one system that delivers more. Available only one place, the Home Depot. Right now, pick up a Ryobi 18-volt lithium-ion cordless trimmer for only $99.
Hey, what's going on here?
You want the long or the short answer?
Long, I guess.
Chevy's having a great deal on the 2013 Silverado, but you better hurry because we don't want to see a grown man cry spectacular.
What's the short answer? Nice.
The Chevy Memorial Day Sale. During the Chevy Memorial Day Sale, current Chevy owners trade up to this 2013 Chevy Silverado All-Star Edition with a total value of $92.50. Plus, get America's best pickup coverage, including 2 years of scheduled maintenance.
Snap out of your snack routine with delicious Pringles sticks. A deliciously unique snack. Everything pops with Pringles sticks.
Let's take a look at our Budweiser play of the game. A 3-run homer from Ryan Hannigan. You see a hanging curveball from Scott Feldman. And that would give the Reds a 5-3 lead. They would go on to win this one 7-4, the final. Cubs baseball brought to you by Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Great times are waiting. Grab some Buds. We'll wrap it up. Get you set for the news coming up.
It's the end of an era.
All the parties, the stories.
I'm gonna miss your smell.
You were my first.
What? I knew it. I knew it.
It's true.
Oh, man, I'm sorry I broke your leg. I wrote a song. Sorry. Here we go.
Keep the good times going with the crisp, refreshing taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
Whoa. Check out this new couch.
Hi. I'd like to show you 2 amazing mechanics products from Craftsman at Sears. Let me ask you, have your sockets ever let you down? If so, check out the Craftsman Max Access ratchet and socket sets. Our breakthrough design allows them to go where standard and deep sockets can't, saving time, frustration, and money. It's 45% stronger, yet the thinner profile allows for greater access. Now you can do more with less, all covered under the Craftsman lifetime warranty. Buy it now for $59.99. Now let's talk raw power and cordless mobility. The Craftsman C3 19.2-volt impact wrench. Boasting 200 foot-pounds of torque, it can tackle anything from rusty lug nuts to sinking huge lag bolts. Jobs usually done with a pneumatic tool. Get it now with battery for just $99.99, only at Sears. So hurry into Sears. Visit us online at sears.com/innovation or call to take advantage of these incredible deals today.
Sears, this is how to gift.
House rule number 53. Big time taste should fit in a little time cup. New single-serve cafe collections from Maxwell House. Now available for use in the Keurig K-Cup brewer. Always good to the last drop.
Klondike's 5 seconds to glory. Jim versus Baby Talk.
I'm your little hamster.
Climb in my pocket, little hamsty wamsty.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
Join us again tomorrow, 2:30 for the leadoff man, the Cubs and Reds in Game 2 of this series. Once again, our final score tonight, the Reds 7, the Cubs 4. Cubs baseball in high definition has been brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Stay tuned. The WGN News is next.
America, land of the free and home of the mouth-watering Ballpark Frank. Grilled on the flames of liberty and named after our national pastime. Ballpark Franks are made with 100% Angus beef and just a dash of democracy. So when someone asks you, hey, are you free to eat a great-tasting Ballpark Frank this weekend? That's when you say, of course I'm free. I'm an American. Ballpark Franks, so American you can taste it.
Hey, Kevin. Still eating chalk for heartburn? Try new Alka-Seltzer fruit chews. They work fast on heartburn and taste awesome.
These are good.
Told ya.
Feeling better already?
New Alka-Seltzer fruit chews. Enjoy the relief.
Hey, what's going on here?
You want the long or the short answer?
Long, I guess.
Chevy's having a great deal on the 2013 Silverado, but you better hurry because we don't want to see a grown man cry spectacular.
What's the short answer? Nice.
The Chevy Memorial Day Sale. During the Chevy Memorial Day Sale, current Chevy owners trade up to this 2013 Chevy Silverado All-Star Edition with a total value of $92.50. Plus, get America's best pickup coverage, including 2 years of scheduled maintenance.
Whether you're running for a train or training for a run, find your balance. Every delicious Balance Bar has 40-30-30 balance nutrition to give you energy that lasts. Balance Bar. Have you found your balance?
Saturday, Travis Wood faces off against his old team as the Cubs battle the Reds in Cincy in a matinee special. Saturday at 3:30 East on WGN America.
This is Chicago's very own WGN News at 9.
This weekend, we remember all who gave their lives serving in America's armed forces. We will also barbecue, do a little picnic, and gather with friends and family outside if the weather holds up. Good evening to you. I'm Lourdes Duarte. Micah is off tonight.
And I'm Mark Sapelsa. The holiday weekend is our top story seen around the country tonight on WGN America. Before we get to skilling, let's talk about some of the grilling. Amy Rutledge on the weekend ahead. Amy.
Well, Mark and Lourdes, I bet a lot more people looking forward to that weekend ahead now that some of the traffic has died down. Much more like a typical Friday night in Chicago right now. As a matter of fact, we are going to get a lot of people in Chicago. So says the travel website kayak.com, which says Chicago is the #2 destination for this holiday weekend behind Las Vegas. And while there are lots of parties, lots of barbecues, there are also a lot of tributes to be paid. By noon today, the mad dash to get out of Dodge had begun. Cars, bumper to bumper, all afternoon, inching slowly to their destinations.
I just came from Fullerton and Southport, and it took about like 15 minutes, and it should take like 5. People are pretty mad.
Mad and erratic, say some drivers.
It makes you kind of think, who are all these people and where do they all come from? But yeah, people are they get angry and don't drive well.
There are lots of them, but not as many as last year. AAA estimates 35 million people will travel 50 miles or more from home this holiday weekend, down nearly 10% from 2012. The reason, experts believe, partially due to high gas prices. The average price for regular in Chicago, about $4.40 a gallon, 12 cents higher than last year. On the flip side, higher fuel is not affecting air travel. The Chicago Department of Aviation is expecting 2% more travelers this year than last. And this is where many of those out-of-towners are tonight.
We just got back from the Bean.
We're having a great time. It's a beautiful city. We're taking lots of pictures and having a great time.
But what to do for the holiday?
Celebrate with family, barbecues, and just sit back. Everybody had a day off. And it's just a time to kick it with family, for real.
Or get out and see the sights in the city, including the beaches, which open for the season today and will remain open from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. through Labor Day. On Sunday, Lakeshore Drive shuts down to traffic for the annual Bike the Drive beginning at 5:30 a.m. And tomorrow, you can take a moment to remember fallen soldiers honored in Chicago's Memorial Day Parade beginning at noon on State Street between Lake and Van Buren.
I think, unfortunately, we don't do as much as we should. And I think that that's kind of a common thread for everyone. But now you're making me think a lot more about it and what we should do to pay tribute.
And former Secretary of Defense and CIA Director Leon Panetta will be the Grand Marshal in that parade tomorrow. All the festivities actually start at 11 a.m. with the wreath-laying ceremony in Daley Plaza. Reporting live along the Kennedy, Amy Rutledge, WGN News.
Okay, Amy, thank you so much for that. Well, the Memorial Day weekend traditionally marks the start of summer, but it certainly doesn't feel that way.
Let's go to that man, find out why. Tom.
Well, it's going to feel more like April, and do you know this will be the coolest Memorial Day weekend that we've got going here in the Chicago area in, well, in almost 12 years. We're expecting only 40s tomorrow, make that 50s by the lake, and 60s and low 60s at that on Sunday, with upper 60s forecasts after that. There are frost and freeze advisories out west of us, but thunderstorm watches too, so there are some thunderstorms rumbling. There you go, coolest Memorial Day in 12 years around here with these April level weekend temperatures. We expect a 57 tomorrow, 62 Sunday, and 69 Monday. That's 16, 11, and 5 degrees below normal respectively. And what we'll be watching are these showers, which will come at us and look pretty ominous, but it looks like a lot of them will be taking the southern route, though tomorrow afternoon we get some pretty good showers to develop into the area. Watch this, how the clouds come in overnight. Just a couple little sprinkles much of the day. We're up to noon tomorrow, and then you'll see a more impressive cluster of showers coming in here. But again, the orientation of this is south of us. That won't always be the case, though. These will come closer to us, and we've got a big warm-up to talk about next week after the holiday, which could push us up to 90. That could get the storms going on Memorial Day. More on all this coming up later on, guys.
Okay, Tom, thanks a lot.
You bet.
Guilty. That was the decision. A jury in Waukegan late this afternoon saying 48-year-old James Ely murdered his former manager at a Burger King restaurant in Lindenhurst. This was back in November of 2006. WGN's Dan Ponce joins us with more on the verdict when it came in. Dan.
Mark, an emotional day in court up in Waukegan. It only took the jury 4 hours to convict James Ely from Lake Villa. This was a trial almost 7 years in the making. Now he will probably spend the rest of his life in prison.
We, the jury, find the defendant James Ely guilty of first-degree murder.
Outside the courtroom after the verdict was read, hugs and handshakes from prosecutors and family members of Mary Hutchinson, who was murdered inside a Lindenhurst Burger King in 2006. Prosecutors say it was James Ely, a former employee, who strangled and stabbed Hutchinson, the store manager. Today, the jury agreed. Hutchinson's husband, Ken, spoke of the difficulty of waiting 6.5 years for justice.
We try to turn another page in our life, but we will always go back to chapter 1 until the day we die.
This is a case of first-degree murder. And the killer sits right there. I am guilty of first-degree murder.
Prosecutor Jeffrey Pavlitic stood directly in front of James Ely during an emotional closing argument, which resulted in a big victory for the Lake County State's Attorney.
We're very pleased with the jury's verdict. I know the jury worked very hard on this case, and we're very happy for the family, and I hope this does provide the Hutchinson family with some closure.
Hutchinson's 2 children, Rebecca and Richard, thanked everyone who worked on the case and said they are pleased with the outcome.
It won't ever bring her back, but at least he won't be able to, murder anybody else.
I do appreciate everybody who has worked hard on this case, the lawyers, the task force, everybody that was involved.
Her husband says he is outraged Ely can't receive the death penalty in Illinois. Fighting back tears, he says the family will find a way to move on.
I know that all of us will see Mary again. The chain might be broken, but it will link together again in heaven.
This is the second time James Ely has been convicted of murder. In the 1980s, he was sent to prison for life for killing 4 people in Chicago. But that conviction was overturned after an appellate court ruled police had violated his rights when he was arrested. A sentencing date for today's conviction has not been set. In the newsroom, Dan Ponce, WGN News. Mark.
All right, Dan, thanks. An employee at Dunbar Vocational Career Academy suspended after pushing a female student down a flight of stairs. Now the girl's family has a lawyer. The incident captured on cell phone video. It shows that employee in a blue shirt struggling with a 16-year-old sophomore at the top of the staircase. He then throws her down the stairs headfirst to the landing below. School employee continues to yell at her as she's helped to her feet. Then she falls back onto the floor.
I would hope that if any other parents have experienced this type of conduct, that they would be willing to come forward.
There was no fight breaking out. There was no threat of violence at that time. This was absolutely not self-defense. This was unequivocal, egregious conduct.
Chicago public school officials said they were made aware of the incident. Then they suspended the employee. They continue to investigate.
Evanston Township High School's varsity baseball team suddenly ending their season. The Wildcats forfeited their playoff season after players were caught in a sexting incident. In a letter to parents, the district superintendent reported that several female students had sent inappropriate photos of themselves to members of that team. The pictures were then recirculated. A series of suspensions left the team short of players, forcing that forfeit. Well, a bill to allow gun owners in Illinois to carry concealed weapons clears a major hurdle, but some prominent state leaders are still not convinced why they're lashing out at the lawmakers who passed it.
The scavenger hunt in a mall leads daughters to their hero, their dad, who's been serving overseas.
And Mike Ditka gets a big honor from the Bears. The details later in sports.
You're watching Chicago's very own WGN News with Mark Sapelsa, Micah Mater, Tom Skilling, and Rich King. This is WGN News at 9.
The verdict is in, America. There's a lot of mother lovers out there.
No.
Yes, you've tweeted.
I like you.
You've posted.
They love me.
And you've watched HIMYM on WGNA.
That's just awesome.
With fans this amazing, we'd just like to say,
thank you!
Watch How I Met Your Mother and meet at McLaren's to join the legendary conversation.
Introducing the Great Weekend Sale at Hotwire. For a limited time, get up to 70% off any weekend hotel stay anywhere when you book a Hotwire hot rate. The Great Weekend Sale won't last. Book today.
HOTWIRE, hotwire.com.
This is America. We don't let frequent heartburn come between us and what we love. So if you're one of them people that gets heartburn and then treats day after day, block the acid with Prilosec OTC. And don't get heartburn in the first place.
One pill each morning, 24 hours, zero heartburn.
We're trying to lose weight, so we cut out junk food. I shrank 1 size. He shrank 6 sizes. Ooh, my gosh.
Slim Quick works in 6 ways with your diet to help women lose up to 25 pounds.
Slim Quick, weight loss for women.
I started a week ago going pro with Crest Pro Health. Since I've been using Crest Pro Health, I've noticed a huge improvement.
Go Pro. For a clean that's up to 4 times better, try these Crest Pro Health products together.
The toothpaste is really awesome. It cleans a lot.
Crest Pro Health protects not just some, but all these areas dentists check most.
This is going to be a very good checkup. I feel it.
Go Pro with Crest Pro Health.
My dentist was so proud of my teeth today. After using Crest Pro Health for a few weeks, I just feel brighter, fresher, cleaner.
Stamps.com is the best. I don't have to leave my desk and get up and go to the post office anymore.
With Stamps.com, you can print real U.S. postage for all your letters and packages.
I have exactly the amount of postage I need the instant I need it.
Can you print only stamps?
No.
First class?
Priority mail, certified, international.
And the mailman picks it up.
I don't leave the shop anymore.
Get a 4-week trial plus $100 in extras, including postage and a digital scale. Go to Stamps.com/TV and never go to the post office again.
I stayed one time.
We stayed another time.
And now we're eating free.
At Choice Hotels, 2 stays pays. Right now, when you take 2 separate trips, you can earn a free $50 gift card for dining, shopping, or gas. Book now at choicehotels.com.
You're watching WGN News at 9.
A funeral today for an 8-year-old boy killed during the Moore, Oklahoma tornado. Kyle Davis died at Plaza Towers Elementary School, one of 7 kids who perished during Monday's tornado. Today's services were actually held at a different church than the one Davis attended because the family needed a bigger space to accommodate the number of people wanting to pay their respects. Semi-trailer truck that hit a support beam on a bridge in Washington State may be to blame for causing that bridge to collapse. Happened on the busy Interstate 5 just north of Seattle over the Skagit River yesterday. Truck crossed the bridge safely, but 2 vehicles behind it plummeted into the water. 3 people rescued, nobody killed. The truck driver took a sobriety test, has not been arrested, and is cooperating with police. The truck was carrying an oversized load at the time. The driver's employer insists the state transportation officials cleared that shipment.
A local hospital making cutbacks. Pink slips have gone out. Those cuts are affecting one of the most underserved communities, the Roseland neighborhood, hoping the state will step in to keep the area's only hospital from shutting down. It's a landmark, a sprawling 160-bed hospital in Chicago's Roseland neighborhood. For people like Susie Clark, it is the only one she knows.
Look, I've been coming here 30 years. They know my background. They know everything about me.
So she is understandably worried. Roseland Hospital is caught in the middle of a tough economy. Just this week, more than 60 pink slips were handed out. That's about 13% of its staff.
We are just reaching a point where we cannot survive. We need to have some consideration from the state.
The hospital now pleading with the state for an additional $7 million in funding. It is the only hospital within an 8-mile radius in an area that has seen its fair share of violence lately. It's not a trauma center, but last year, 35 shooting victims went to Roseland first, then trauma centers.
We need to look at hospitals like Roseland and say, it doesn't make sense not to have the adequate care and have the best of care in a community like Roseland, which is right in the heart of some of the most heinous violence that has occurred in Chicago.
But it is not that simple. Roseland has had some management issues in the past, which is what the state says it is concerned about. The hospital did bring down its debt recently from $9 million to $4 million, but with more than 40% of its patients uninsured, they are simply taking baby steps. For every dollar they bill, the hospital gets 17 cents, and that makes it difficult for anyone to stay afloat.
If we go out of business, someone is going to have to deliver these services, and it's going to cost them more.
The governor's office sending out this statement, quote, the governor is concerned about Roseland's financial viability. The hospital plays a vital role as an anchor for the community. That's why, upon learning of the hospital's problems, he immediately directed senior staff to lead discussions with Roseland executives and community leaders several weeks ago to explore how the state, city, and federal governments can partner to help Roseland adapt to today's changing healthcare landscape. And the governor's office says it wants to make sure that Roseland has a long-term plan. They are waiting for paperwork from the hospital outlining that plan. So far, they say that has not happened. In the meantime, the clock is ticking, which could lead to more layoffs in the coming months.
Illinois House passes a revised conceal carry bill. Despite objections from the governor, Mayor Rahm Emanuel, that bill would still prohibit guns in places like parks, stadiums, government buildings, and on public transit. It would, however, ban Chicago and other communities from adding their own restrictions. Not popular with the mayor, some other lawmakers. Illinois is the only state without concealed carry, and the Supreme Court in the state found that to be unconstitutional. Mayor Emanuel's vision for redoing Chicago's hated parking meter deal undergoes its first public hearing before the city council. Former Mayor Daley decided to lease the meters to Chicago Parking Meters, LLC, for about $1.15 billion back in 2008. That agreement also lets the company bill the city for meters taken out of service for festivals and construction, and for allowing disabled drivers to park free. Emanuel's proposal supposedly settles those bills and establishes new billing rules. He claims it'll save taxpayers $1 billion over the remaining 71 years of the deal.
I am not leaning one way or the other. My goal today, and I think the goal of many of my colleagues, is just to ask a lot of questions, study this very closely, and make sure that the taxpayers will benefit from the deal.
Can it get better? I doubt it. Can we look into it after we approve it if we approve it in City Council on June 5th, I think we can, but there's always a catch. There's always something to pay for any changes.
Well, the mayor's plan also calls for free parking on Sundays, but extending the hours at night. 24 aldermen are backing the proposal so far out of the 50.
The CTA is rolling back on proposed fees for the Ventra card after facing some strong criticism from both elected officials and transit riders. A $5 fee to obtain a card has now been waived because of all this. CTA says it will also eliminate customer service fees for calling Ventra. Ventra, of course, a CTA and PACE bus card. Officials also hope that Ventra will replace disposable single ride cards, which are more expensive for the city to produce.
Next, an emotional reunion. A sailor returns home to surprise his daughters as the nation prepares to honor its war heroes.
Plus, it was too good to be true. A drug that scientists said could potentially cure Alzheimer's may not be a miracle drug after all.
Get in there. Boy, am I glad this is the last time I have to wrestle with this python. You see, I switched to the pocket hose. You know, the hose that expands. This hose is great. You just turn on the water, and the pocket hose grows and grows and grows into a full-length hose. I love watching that. Say goodbye to those old-fashioned giant hoses that become a twisted, tangled mess. Pick a pocket hose. It's small enough to fit in the palm of your hand until you turn on the tap. That's when this miniature marvel suddenly transforms into a giant hose right before your eyes. The secret is Pocket Hose's heavy-duty fire hose construction. A durable rubber hose on the inside that expands with water pressure and a tough outer lining to protect it. It's so rugged, it comes with a 10-year money-back guarantee. 10 years. No more trying to reel in those monster hoses. Pick a pocket hose. It does all the work for you. Just turn it off, and the pocket hose magically retracts back to where it started from. Look at that. That's right. Come on to Papa. And don't you hate it when hoses kink? Pick a pocket hose. You couldn't kink this if you tried. It's unkinkable. Why play tug-of-war with a heavy hose? Pick a pocket hose. It's so much easier to handle because it's so lightweight. Come see the world's strongest man lift a 50-foot hose with one finger. The pocket hose has a powerful spray so it can handle any watering job around your yard or out in the driveway. And it's perfect for RVs and boats. Are giant hoses taking over your garage? Pick a pocket hose. 2 pocket hoses take up less space than a paint can. So why keep hassling with a heavy hose, a tangled hose, a filthy hose? Order yourself a pocket hose and watch it grow and grow and grow. You'll love this hose.
Call now to get your 25-foot pocket hose for just $12.99. Order now and you can get a second pocket hose. Call now.
Call 1-800-961-3116, and today you can get a special offer second pocket hose. So call 1-800-961-3116. That's 1-800-961-3116. Call now.
Your smile, like other precious things that start off white, it yellows over time. When it comes to your smile, if you're not whitening, you're yellowing. Crest White Strips whiten as well as $500 professional treatments. Guaranteed. Crest 3D White Strips.
You're watching WGN News at 9.
Got a feel-good story for our armed forces families. A local sailor arrived home tonight safe and ahead of schedule.
His wife knew he was coming in, but kept it a secret from their kids. WGN's Randy Bellosomo was in Joliet for that surprise homecoming.
This is a story about a nervous daddy, his 2 cute daughters, and one very creative mom. She organized a scavenger hunt for 8-year-old Maria and 7-year-old Aaron at the Louis Joliet Mall tonight.
Yes, that's clue number 4.
Taking her girls on a search for something they did not expect to find. That something was someone they had not seen in a year and a half. That someone was waiting in the food court. This is him, clue number 10. First Class Petty Officer Aaron Haynes just arrived home from an overseas Navy deployment about 5 months earlier than planned.
You two have gotten heavier.
They've also turned into pretty good readers in the time that has passed, getting through clue after clue to find themselves here. They have some teeth that have emerged since Dad's been away. They wanted to show him their new smiles.
I missed you so much.
On this Memorial Day weekend, Dad is thinking about the so many others not so lucky to take part in a moment like this.
I know it's been a year and a half for me, but it's been longer for some.
And for his girls, there is just so much to celebrate.
I just thought about the fact that he had missed this one's birthday and this one's birthday was coming up. And the fact that it was Memorial Day weekend, it just fit. The last day of school, everything.
It called for a pizza party with all 4 in the family together. In a time like this, even the pepperoni tastes sweet. Randy Bellosomo, WGN News.
I love it. Great story. Nice to see it.
I always want to see the reunion again and again and again.
Oh.
Daddy!
Makes you smile. Happy Memorial Day. Well, coming up in the Medical Watch, the emotional toll weather-related tragedies like the tornado in Oklahoma could have on kids.
A suburban high school's first ever special needs prom. Meet the woman that made it happen.
Live from WGN-TV Chicago, the official drawing of the Illinois Lottery.
Good evening. This is Jeanette Rivera with your winning lottery numbers for Friday, May 24th, 2013. First game is pick 3, first winning number. Bat number is 4, second number. 1 and the third and final. Pick 3 number. That number is 5. That makes your pick 3 numbers for this evening, 4, 1, 5. Moving on to pick 4. Make sure you join us tomorrow night for Powerball. That jackpot is $50 million. Also tomorrow night is Lotto. That jackpot is $3.5 million. First pick 4 number. That number is 8. Second number. 1. Third number. 6. And the fourth and final pick 4 number. 9. That makes your pick 4 numbers for this evening. 8, 1, 6, 9. Moving on to Lucky Day Lotto, the game you can play 7 nights a week with a roll of a jackpot that starts at $100,000. Tonight's jackpot is $175,000. Good luck. First number is 30. Second number is 26. Third Lucky Day Lotto number is 17. Fourth number is 25. And the fifth final number, that number is 3. So to recap, your Lucky Day Lotto numbers for tonight: 30, 26, 17, 25, and 3. And again, join us for tomorrow night for Powerball. That jackpot is $50 million. This is Jeanette Rivera. Have a great night.
Tonight's lottery drawing was brought to you by WGN-TV and has been supervised by the accounting firm of E.C. Ortiz.
In tonight's Medical Watch, weather worries and the impact on children's mental health. The huge tornado that killed 24 adults and children in Moore, Oklahoma this week is the latest example of the kind of violent weather that can affect a child's mental well-being. But experts say even thunderstorms with lightning and strong winds can be emotionally upsetting and make it hard for kids to concentrate in school. Experts recommend parents be calm and supportive when talking to children about weather, and if their anxiety doesn't go away, consult a mental health professional. Teen birth rates in the United States have hit a record low with significant drops in almost every state. A new report from the CDC shows between 2007 and 2011, teen births dropped 25% for new moms between the ages of 15 to 19. Several states had a decrease of at least 30%. The biggest drop of 34% was among Hispanic teens. Experts credit the decrease to a mix of greater access to birth control and better sex education. Health experts are disappointed in the latest finding on Alzheimer's disease. Last year, a study generated lots of excitement after revealing an already approved cancer drug also erased the brain plaques associated with Alzheimer's. With great hope, patients started asking for the drug, bexarotene, and doctors began prescribing it. But the original researchers and other scientists say they cannot duplicate the positive results for bexarotene. In the journal Science, the same publication where they highlighted their original study, experts say they have found no evidence bexarotene helps halt Alzheimer's disease. Back to you.
All right, Dina Bair, thank you so much with the Medical Watch. It is the end of May, but it feels like the beginning of April, doesn't it?
Tom Skilling tells us when we'll see more seasonable temps coming up.
And the summer blockbuster movie season kicks off